enjoyed meeting people that were already in career fields that I was, thinking of exploring, and being able to talk with people that had first experience of going through those steps and applying for these really niche psychology degrees really helped me out. I also loved looking at all the architecture, going out with people I just met, and just the environment of being able to talk to like such important and cool people.
It was a pleasure coming to Oxford for the Human Rights Consortium. I'm so grateful to be alongside some amazing people who are really experienced in their field, from law to political science. It was a blessing to listen and learn and converse with everybody. Of course, the culture, the English culture is beautiful as well, and so I'm super grateful to have immersed myself with it.
Where do I start? To be surrounded by scholars of all walks of life and to be in a city full of such rich and magnificent history, it's something that is a one-in-a-lifetime experience, and I will never forget it. It's something that will always stick with me throughout my entire academic career.
All right. Well, I think for me, what I enjoyed most was being able to meet a lot of cool people, a lot of different people from CT State, and making, I think, a lot of cool connections with people. There's so many genuine and intelligent people. It was just really cool. What about you?
I think it was really informative to get to learn from people that are really experienced in their fields that, at home we might not have the same kind of access. And also just being here and seeing the history.
Everything was really, I loved it. You can have new experience with a lot of communicate with people, and seeing people in here was just really, I feel like more proud of myself and being in here and how they communicate with us, how they support us. I really lovely. I can say things about the world and climate change, and everything was really perfect. Yeah, thank you so much for the support.
I loved meeting the professors and being able to ask, Oxford professors questions, and it feels really good when a professor at one of the most prestigious universities says that your insight is really good. It feels incredible, and it feels incredible to learn from people from all different backgrounds. And yeah, it just feels good.
Talking today mostly about the resistance in Connecticut regarding the genocide in Gaza. I'm not going to labor and lambaste you all with the gory details of what's happening here. We're at a human rights conference. We know what's happening. I'm going to tell you about what's happening in Connecticut. So you see, the state of Connecticut, as we all know, is a bit complicit in regards to what's going on over there. They fund what's going on in terms of arms contracts, in terms of receiving money from Israel super PACs that support what's going on over there. So in terms of what's going on at the state political level, things are a bit bleak. However, the state is not the people, and the people of Connecticut have been fighting diligently and very hard in order to raise awareness and provide aid for Palestinians, not only in Gaza, the Palestinians that are located in Connecticut as well, having relocated. You will find most, go back actually, you will find most of the slides, you will find that most of the resistance is found within college and university campuses across Connecticut and through nonprofit and social advocacy organizations. Universities across Connecticut, some that you are most...
We have a robust network of nearly 200 civil rights and social justice organizations within our state. These organizations focus on creating an equitable and anti-racist state. One of the ones I will be highlighting today is the ACLU of Connecticut. So the American Civil Liberties Union of Connecticut defends, promotes, and expands the civil rights and civil liberties of all people within Connecticut. They are also a inclusive, nonpartisan, and statewide organization within the nationwide ACLU. And they incorporate 6 core values that they believe in and aspire to incorporate into their actions. These include anti-racism, dignity, diversity, equity, inclusivity, and partners in justice. Since 1948, they have used their legal and advocacy expertise to protect freedom, justice, and equity. And some of the major achievements that they've done is overturning death penalty, expanding and defending the right to abortion, creating marriage equality and gender affirmative birth certificates, challenging government surveillance and censorship, and fighting police brutality and racism.
And some of the things that are connected to that. In Connecticut, right now there's, and has been, a severe lack of available homes, and it ranks last in active housing listings per 10,000. Part of this is because where Connecticut is, it's very close to the sea, and it's also very close to Connecticut, and so what you end up seeing is a bunch of rich individuals, specifically white rich individuals, will come in and buy up all of the nice properties. And as a part of that, you also see a sort of segregation that's happening in Connecticut, in part because of what's been left after Jim Crow and redlining, but also just the poor populations that aren't able to access that. So renters are also unable to find places to live, specifically people who are extremely low income. That's people who are about within 30% below the average median income. And there's not very many listings for them either, and it's really kind of a huge issue because a lot of those people are people who are seniors or working class individuals that our country is propped up on, or people with disabilities, and we all deserve a place to live. And part of that is, as he's the slide is, to get you kind of realize how bad it is. Someone who's a minimum wage worker would have to work 87 hours a week in order to be able to afford the average apartment, average 2-bedroom apartment. So a single parent working 87 hours just to live. But homelessness has also been on the rise for the past 5 years in Connecticut. And as you can expect, that's a result of expenses being too high, and people having to double up with each other, living with other families, and also a lot of people facing legal eviction and foreclosure. There's also a movement going on called Just Cause that's trying to get to the bottom of that. But in shelters, 23% of those people are people who are 55 or older, and so the older generation is really feeling the effects in Connecticut. But there's a lot of organizations that are nonprofit that are, there's a lot of organizations in Connecticut that are working to try and combat that issue, as it is so important. And I've got them listed all here. The Housing Collective in Bridgeport, who is trying to provide housing units and also find people who are homeless homes. The Open Communities Alliance, who has worked really hard to do a lot of research as to why there's segregation in Connecticut, and also fight for civil rights. The Partnership for Strong Communities, who has focused on trying to create and advocate for renter policies, and lastly, but certainly not least, the Connecticut Coalition to End Homelessness, which is sort of self-explanatory, but they're doing a lot of good work. So thank you, and I'll be passing
Before I
it
want to talk then about the Connecticut climate changes initiatives, I want to talk about briefly the Connecticut climate. As you can see, this map is show the different zone of the climate change in climate in Connecticut, as such as northwest area is more focused on the area is colder and it's receive a lot of snow, and coastal region is they receive it like milder and wetter areas. They have like more than because of the ocean, and also the central valleys they experience more seasonal variation, and that's why, because of this diversity, Connecticut's like face multiple climate risks, such as including coastal flooding, extreme heat, and also during the winter more snowfalls. These challenges make it necessary for the state to improve a strong climate initiatives. For this slide, I will focus on some major of the initiatives. The first one is regional greenhouse gas initiatives. That this project is more focused on limit power plants and to reinvest and revenue of the supported for clean energy efficiency, and also that's focus on resilience projects. And another initiative is the comprehensive energy strategy. That strategy promoted the renewable energy. That's like we can say improving the energy efficiency, and for both sides is the residential and commercial. And we can have the example of it, we can say offshore winds and also solars. And other important initiatives is zero emission vehicle mandate. That's this focusing on all of we can say the vehicles that requiring all of vehicles will be in the 2030 or 2035 will be electric. And this slide I will focusing on who has managed these initiatives. The first one is Governance Council with city estate, and that's more focusing the all of a strategy. And the next one is Department of Energy and Environment, that's manage or lead the energy and the energy policies all of the Connecticut. And the next one is the Green Bank. The Green Bank is like funding the clean energy projects. And the last one is the Interagency Council, is more focusing on how to coordinate with climate goals and actions.
I see the impact that it makes in my community every day. Mystic Aquarium was founded in 1973, and it is a driving economic factor in Southeast Connecticut, being a really big source of tourism for the area. Working hand in hand with our state, the aquarium focuses on how it can help our community in relation to the growing danger of climate change. From holding programs to help educate local communities and tourists on hydropower, to funding research directly, as well as cleanup events in the area. The aquarium promotes offshore wind energy, and what's really important about this is, unlike other corporations, they make sure that they delve deep into how exactly these new construction programs will actually affect the local wildlife, as well as making sure that this is with humane practices, making sure that they're not affecting any of the local region. And I would like to emphasize that they really put our planet before profit. The aquarium also funds over 100,000 students with informal STEM educations, really focusing on minority and indigenous populations in Connecticut. Without the aquarium, Connecticut as a whole would lose out on multiple conservation and sustainability initiatives, and they are just one of the biggest factors in conservation in Connecticut.
Conservation programs. As we all know, wildlife conservation is a really important field. And as we heard a few days ago from Jesse Mond, all human rights are dependent on nature not just surviving, but thriving. Connecticut has a lot of different really notable NGOs that specialize in wildlife, one of which is the Connecticut Audubon Society. They were founded in 1898 by 4 women in Fairfield, and they've continued to be a leader in the environmental field throughout the state. They practice 3 pillars of focus that they use. Their mission statement is to protect Connecticut's birds, other wildlife, and their habitats through conservation, education, and advocacy. They practice conservation by owning and operating 22 sanctuaries across the state, which amass over 3,400 acres of land. In these sanctuaries, they support the promotion of native species as well as the removal of any harmful invasive species. And they also add instructional support or improvements where needed. They educate the community by providing opportunities for local schools to partner with after-school programs or summer camps to